Look, I've got to talk to you about. Look, let's start with Man United because I know you're a big Man United fan. You said you've been up there a little bit.
Yeah.
What have you made of them this season? Because they're always a talking point, but I mean, you've seen them over the greatest years, and you've seen them at the worst.
It's a struggle, isn't it, mate? I was listening to your callers there, and there's some people that want Amorim to stay, but majority, it sounds like, want to go. What I don't like is the culture of sacking someone straight away. You know what I mean? It's like I come from a time of knowing United when it was just consistent, and then it falls off. You know, it's a tough time, and I'll tell you what, the culture as well. When I went up there for the Chelsea game, you know, you're in Old Trafford, you're in the Theatre of Dreams, and you're going, the heritage that comes, and I'm looking at my old man on the wall, and then everyone's just worried that we're going to lose. It's just a constant fear from everyone that, are we going to win this? When you used to walk in there and be like, yeah, let's do this. You know what I mean? So it is tough times, mate. And also, Amorim, like, you know, if I'm not mistaken, his past, what he did at his old club, he went in there the first year and they didn't do well. He changed it all around, changed the system to his system, and then the next season they got promoted or they won the league. So I'm thinking, you know, same thing's going to happen here, and it hasn't happened yet. And you're going, oh, and now it's gotten worse and worse and worse. Remember at the beginning of the season, you're going, oh, it's changed. We brought in some players. It's new. It's ready. It's different, and it's even worse than it's ever been. You know, so you're like,
but that's football now.
No, I get that.
You know, longer the days are gone where managers can come in and given time. Now, you know, we're all guilty, right? As fans, as pundits and people, we're all guilty of, you know, sometimes you're not more than 4 games away from your job being questioned.
Yeah.
I mean, people are now starting to question Slot. I mean, he won the title last year.
Yeah.
He's lost 3 games on the spin. And people are starting to question, oh, is he making the right decision? That's the world we live in.
Yeah. I guess what it is that I just don't like that we're in that world. You know, I like that it could be, you know, I think it's a bit harsh that people are sacked that quick and that turnaround's that quick. You almost want to give somebody, you almost want to go, let's settle here and see how it goes. But when you ain't seeing the results, you're like, I don't have a choice here. You know, if things get worse, and I think you guys have been talking for the past however long about these next few games, like, you know, are fans going to be happy saying, let's put the faith in him when you lose the next 4? Knock on wood, you don't. But if it gets worse and worse and worse, you're like, well, we got to make changes.
Yeah. Also, it's the Champions League football.
Yeah.
You know, Man United have got no European football. When's the last time, I can't remember, it might be more recent than I remember, but you can't keep going, a club the size of United, you can't go 2, 3, 4, 5 seasons without being down at the top table. That's where things will have to make a change, right? But United, financially as well, I know that they're a powerhouse and, you know, an absolute monster when it comes to creating money.
Yeah.
But you still need that Champions League football because the fans will demand it and the players will demand it.
Yeah. I think as a club, they probably have, I mean, I could be mistaken, but they probably got the funds, but it's about the fans going, what? How can we not be in here?
What is the atmosphere like up there, Bestie, when you got there?
I mean, it's nice. I mean, I'm very blessed. I'm super grateful to United. There's a real legacy that I'm really proud of that comes with it, as you know. You know, when I go there, I feel nothing but pride. Even if we lose, I'm like, damn, but this is an incredible thing that I get to live. You know what I mean? So you go there, and from a personal, it's great, but right now you can feel, and there's little things, and I probably shouldn't say, but there's little things like, you know, when certain people came in, certain people were let go, and you felt this dynamic change of this, like, old school legacy from people, you know, this is a bit deep, but when I went there when I was 10 and I saw these familiar faces, the same faces I've dealt with my whole life, and then all of a sudden I go there, none of those faces are there. Yeah. So the whole thing felt a bit different, but you're still going into, I walk through the thing and I'm looking at you know, the Theatre of Dreams going, damn. You know, this is special.
It's still Old Trafford, right?
Yeah, exactly that. But then when you don't perform, when I'm sitting there with my mates, I brought my business partners, and then we're losing, you're just like, oh, it could be a bit better. You know what I mean? But,
yeah. Jim Ratcliffe, he's been speaking exclusively to the Times and brand new business podcast. Here's him speaking about United gaffer Ruben Amorim.
He needs to demonstrate that he's a great coach over 3 years.
So you give him 3 years?
Yeah. That's where I would be.
Yeah.
3 years, because football's not overnight.
No, and as you say, the Alex Ferguson example is exactly that, isn't it?
And you look at Arteta at Arsenal. You know, he had a miserable time for the first couple of years, you know.
Yeah.
He's making some big changes there, Ratcliffe, to be fair, but to say 3 years, it's a results-based business.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it. You like to think, oh, yeah, settle in, but this far in, if it isn't settled, you're like, damn, you know?
Yeah.
Like, what do you do? How can you go 3 years if you keep on losing? It's just, it go from worse to worse.
It won't.
Yeah.
That won't happen. It's all well and good sitting there and saying that now. But we know, and everyone listening, if things don't go, he will have to go back on that.
Yeah.
And that's just the nature of the beast.
You get why that's done, though. You get why he's going. It's almost like him taking it on the shoulders. Trust in me. I know what I'm doing here, you know? And I'm going to support him. But then, exactly as you said, in 4 games, just say it doesn't go that way. That will be reassessed for sure.
Bestie, he plays a bit of football, Sunday, and I tell you, if he had 4 bad games, mate, at old celebrity soccer, he'd be out the door. I think he'd take himself off.
Mate, I'll tell you something so embarrassing. So I love my football. I've played with you many a time. Jamie still got it, by the way. Pings it about even
I can't move.
Doesn't run, but just pings the ball here, there, and everywhere. But I got my buddy, you know Tom. I was told a story. Tom Sellers, the chef. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I seen him at his restaurant. He's gone, I've got a Sunday league team. Do you want to come down and play? And I'm going, yeah, I got a bit about me.
Yeah.
It's a bit.
Right.
Yeah, thank you, mate. Appreciate that. But I've been asked that question my whole life. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and for a long time, it put me off football when I was younger, and the outside noise affected me. But at 44, I'm like, I do what I would do to make me happy.
Yeah.
So I've gone, I'll come play your Sunday league on Sunday. He's like, yeah, we're playing the thing. I'm giving it that one. So I go in and I meet his old team. And he's going, oh, yeah, Bestie's got a bit. And I'm walking in there. 2 minutes in, I pulled my hammy. I was like that. And when you don't know a single soul, yeah? And I could feel him going, well, he's rubbish, mate. Yeah? And you're like, no, I swear, mate. I play every Sunday.
How can you pull your hamstring? You play centre half.
No, mate, I don't. Funny enough, I think it was actually still the nerves of going to play with these new guys and just going, I want to go out there and perform for your team. It was their own team. They're committed. They love it. And I'm like showing up going, and then 10 minutes in, I'm like, and I didn't even stick around. I just left. I was so pissed off. This was like later.
Look, Bestie, obviously we got to talk about your dad. It's 20 years since his passing.
Yeah, brother.
Absolute legend. Growing up as George Best's son, you talk about it, getting into football. I know you love football.
Yeah.
Probably quite hard, right?
Oh, yeah. I think, not anymore. I think I mentioned my age there, but the older you get, as everybody will know, you just get a bit more confident in yourself and comfortable in yourself, But for a long time, I remember I played in my whole youth, and then I came to the UK, and the pressure of it all, once I realized the power of what Bestie was, I remember I got off a plane and I went to some awards ceremony. Do you remember Caprice back in the day? Yeah. So Caprice was there, and I remember we took some photo together. And the front cover of the I think it was the News of the World. I think they've obviously been sacked since then. It was like Bestie's boy, and I'm like, oh, I'll have a bit of this, I loved it at the time, yeah. But then all the questions of the outside noise started coming in, and for a long time, mate, I brought a lot of it on myself. For a long time, there was a lot of grief that came with it. I did well, and then I did bad. And when I did bad, I did really bad.
Yeah.
You've probably both seen a bit. It was documented and all that, but there's a lot of great things. I'm so blessed to be my dad's kid, and even my old man, and this celebration I've done of his life coming up. It's like there's some darkness comes with it, but you forget about those things when you get older. And when there's not a day goes by that someone doesn't tell me a story about Bestie, and I absolutely love it. And I use my social media as a tool, like Twitter. There's 300-something thousand people on there, and they're all United fans. They're all Bestie fans, and they all love it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm real proud of it, mate. And I try to represent it now. The older I've gotten, the best I can. Bit younger, didn't quite know how. Fought against it. I was like, well, if I don't play football, I'll just get on the sesh. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it is.
Now you've calmed down. And
Yeah. Now I've grown up a bit.
Now you've grown up, and you're like, my dad's George Best.
Yeah. I'm proud, but good luck saying to me, look at him using his dad's name. I'm like, it's my dad, mate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's George Best.
Yeah,
he's a legend.
Thank you, brother.
The Sports Bar with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. Monday to Thursday nights from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.